Imagine being lost in the middle of the world's largest ocean, with no rescue in sight, no land on the horizon, and only the endless blue waves for company. This is the true story of José Salvador Alvarenga, a fisherman who would spend 438 days adrift on the Pacific Ocean, longer than a year, surviving against all odds. It began in November 2012 off the coast of Mexico. José Salvador Alvarenga, a 36-year-old experienced fisherman, and a young crewman, Ezequiel Cordoba, set out for what was supposed to be a routine two-day fishing trip. They loaded their small vessel with bait, fishing gear, gasoline, and fresh water. The Pacific promised a livelihood, a catch that could feed their families and earn them money. But within hours of departing, disaster struck. A violent storm battered their boat, flooding the engine and destroying their communication equipment. They were pushed further and further away from shore. With no engine, no oars, and a dead radio, the men were left to drift helplessly into the open Pacific. The currents pulled them relentlessly westward. In just a few days, they were hundreds of miles from land, and rescue teams eventually called off the search. Food and fresh water ran out fast. To survive, they had to improvise, catching fish with their bare hands, collecting rainwater in bottles, eating seabirds, and drinking turtle blood when available. At first, they shared the burden, but the ordeal would take its toll. After about 4 months, Cordoba, weakened, sick, and despairing, gave up. He stopped eating and eventually died of starvation. Alvarenga was left alone, drifting with the endless horizon on all sides, a place where time loses meaning. He battled hunger, thirst, heat, isolation, and the terrifying thought of death. For water, he drank rain whenever it fell, and sometimes even his own urine to stave off dehydration. He learned how to catch birds that landed on the boat, kill turtles for meat and blood, and fish with his bare hands after losing his gear to the waves. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months, and months into a year. At times, Alvarenga encountered passing ships, but without any signaling equipment, no flares, no radio, no flag, they passed him by. Storms battered his tiny boat. He survived shark encounters, blistering sun, hunger, thirst, and crushing loneliness. Yet he refused to give in. His faith, determination, and belief that rescue might come kept him going. Finally, after 438 days adrift, land appeared. It was a tiny atoll called Ebon Atoll in the Marshall Islands, more than 6,700 miles away from where he first set sail. Starving, hollow-eyed, and barely able to stand, Alvarenga paddled to shore and collapsed onto the sand, his fight for survival finally over. Local residents found him and alerted authorities. He was taken to a hospital, where doctors treated him for dehydration, malnutrition, and infection. He would later return home to El Salvador, a living testament to human endurance. Despite his heroic survival, controversy followed him. The family of Cordoba sued Alvarenga, alleging he had resorted to cannibalism, though he denied it, and no solid evidence ever proved it. Alvarenga has since described how difficult it was to cope psychologically after his ordeal. He suffered from nightmares, a fear of water, and needed time to readjust to life on land. José Salvador Alvarenga's story is more than a remarkable survival tale. It's a testament to human resilience, adaptability, and the will to survive even when all hope seems lost. From a routine fishing trip to a fight for life that spanned 438 days and crossed thousands of miles of open ocean, his journey remains one of the most astonishing survival stories ever recorded. If you enjoyed this story of courage against impossible odds, smash that like button, subscribe for more incredible true stories from around the globe, and let us know in the comments which survival story you want us to cover next.